Put the math in the model. Hey, there you go. Intelligence, more than geometry, it's parametric. Design intent is a methodology. It's one of those things that I can outpace most people in SolidWorks, not because I'm fully certified and I can do this and that. It's because I've been in a couple different industries before. I know what needs to change in certain industries. I know how to put parts together accordingly. And then if I do miss the boat, I know how to fix it quickly, all that good stuff. So it is a methodology, and it can make good users out there. Design works with you, doesn't burden you. Math is bad. Math is bad. The world changes daily, so does design and engineering. Redoing is not efficient. If you have to delete features and all that good stuff, or if you have to remake parts because you had bad design intent, that's not going to work well for anybody. Be one with SolidWorks, okay? That's really what we're looking to do here. All right, efficiency, assemblies. Breadcrumbs, anybody know what breadcrumb is? Raise your hand. Oh, breadcrumbs are the coolest thing in assembly since sliced bread. Get it, breadcrumbs? Oh. All right, mating on the fly, copy mated components. These are just some high-end ones that we can talk about briefly. Let me get into here. All right, breadcrumbs are probably one of the biggest things that I've been talking about over the, I've been talking for probably the last 6-7 years. And it was only because when breadcrumbs came out, and breadcrumbs have been around since 2012, 2013, I think it was 13 when they came in. I, as an old-time user, was like, what are they doing? There's more crap on my screen. I still have the AutoCAD mentality of big screen as possible, right? Breadcrumbs are these things right here. If I go ahead and click on something, they appear in the upper left-hand corner there. These, from a part standpoint, I haven't found a lot of use for them. They're in there as well too, but from an assembly standpoint, I have found a ton of uses for them. I am one of the large assembly gurus for Go Engineer. I look at, when someone's having an issue with large assemblies, I'm the guy that they call in and I look at it and I say, do you guys stink at putting assemblies together? And then I show them the right way to do it. But one of the things that I really have gotten into is, if you're dealing with an assembly, and this isn't even a large assembly, but people automatically go to the feature manager and they're exploding stuff out, and you're trying to find a plane and a part and this and that, and you're trying to make stuff together. It's very difficult to find information. If you go down to the mate tool, you may have a lot of mates in there, but yeah, try figuring out what the heck's going on in here. Try to find that one mate between the two components. Now, SolidWorks does give us some tools. We've had them for some time. If I come up here to say this part, I can see that there's a folder in there and it says mates in the flashlight. And if I expand that out, those are those particular mates for that part in this assembly, which is great, except there's still a whole bunch of information in there, right? So one of the things that I like about it is this. I'm gonna click this part. This part is actually part of a sub-assembly, and that's put into this main assembly. So I have mates on this part that are in the sub, and then I have mates of the sub-assembly at the top level. And if I take a look at it, that's what the breadcrumbs are showing me here. Here's my main assembly. You can see it highlight everything. If I go here, that's highlighting the sub-assembly down there. Sorry, you can't see it. That's the part I clicked, that's the body of the part, that's the feature of the part, and then that is the face that I selected in there. And then if I hover over different items, or click different items, like if I click the part that I did there, I can see the 3 planes and the origin right there. I don't have to go looking in the feature manager for it anymore. If I want to see what mates are made at the sub-assembly level, that's all the mates right there. In fact, if I right-click on any of these, I have instantaneous edit feature right there. I don't have to edit the assembly, find the mate, right-click and edit it. I just click it right there. It does all that work for me.
I looked down. What did you click to get the mates to show up?
They were there already.
Were they? Okay.
Yeah, if you hover over it, like these are the mates of the sub-assembly at the top level. And again, you can cover, including this one, you can lock the rotation there, you can flip the alignment. Sometimes you get that, it flips it, and you're like, oh, now I gotta go digging around and finding stuff. I don't need to. I just right click on it, flip it, or if I need to, I can edit it right there. It gets me right into it. So if you can see it, it's just like clicking on it over here in the feature manager. In fact, I've gotten to the point where, I'm looking at large assemblies here. We'll let this open up. So I've got to the point where I don't really need the component manager anymore. You know, I used to spend a lot of time there, zooming up, zooming down. SolidWorks tried to help us out by giving it, like, if you click something on the screen, we're gonna roll something up over here. Well, when you've got 5,600 components and you've got 17,000 mates, yeah, that thing rolling around is not helping at all. It's quite irritating. But the fact of the matter is I can come in here now and pick any component and I can see exactly where it's at in the assembly, and I can see all that information laid out there, including the sketch of the feature that I just clicked on. Kind of nice? Now, some of my longtime users have sat there and said, I don't have that on. Yes, you can turn it off through options. What I found though is the majority of people have ignored it for so long that they don't even recognize that it's even popping up anymore. And I tell them, I'm like, if you have it turned off, give me a call. And if it's not, then don't call me. Like, and they go back, and I talk to them later. I'm like, hey, you never called me, so did you have to turn it on? They're like, nope, I clicked on it. It's been there the whole time, apparently. So it is super useful. Almost required for assemblies, and definitely needed for large assemblies.
Question, so if it is turned off, how do we turn it?
Oh, that's just going to be through, all you do is you go to your customize. So right click on any toolbar, go to customize up here, and then it is, wait, maybe it's options. I messed up, sorry. I think you go to options. I don't know where it is specifically. I just typed in breadcrumbs up here. Go ahead. Yeah, there we go. So it's under display, and relax, right? It's down here and out of the way. There it is.
So no breadcrumbs to find your breadcrumbs, huh?
Right, yeah.
Yeah.
So you can show the breadcrumbs on selection. There's another sub option that instead of putting it in the left, it puts it right next to your mouse. I'm still under the feeling there's too much crap showing up next to my mouse, so I don't want more stuff there. But it does help us so you don't have to continue going to the corner. But yeah, go to options, look for breadcrumbs, look for breadcrumbs. Last one I'll show you here, kind of one of the more important, is learning how to do the mates. And no, that's not the one I wanted, but hey, it'll work anyway. So ultimately, what I've been working with people on is really finding efficiencies in assemblies. We do have the mate tool that I can go into, and everybody's familiar with the mate tool. The fact of the matter is I don't really go to the mate tool anymore. Not even, the only time I go to is for like mechanical mates, like gear mates or something like that. But what SolidWorks has been doing is they've been putting information into the menus that occur if you don't move. And I still have that habit of moving to the left because that's where I always went. But if you don't move, you get this nice little, you'll see it fade away as you move your mouse away from it. But these are all the mates that are there. And if you move too far away, it'll disappear. So just tap your control key real quick. It should bring it back up. But here you can see that these are all the mates available for the faces that I put on here. And if none of those work, you probably needed one of the super high-end stuff, but this works with almost anything. So right now it says coincident. You can see the little border around it there. And if I go ahead and click that, it'll make it coincident and puts them together. But this also does a couple of other things as well too. So what I'm gonna do is pick these two faces. I got to the point where I use one of my extra buttons on my mouse to turn it into an enter button, just Windows enter. And so I know what mate's gonna fly up here. 2 flat faces, coincident, 2 round faces, concentric, flat, round, tangent. Those are always the default one. People sometimes will balk at the fact that coincident and concentric are the main default ones. Like, well, we want to default the other ones. Quite frankly, 95 to 97% of all mates ever made in SolidWorks are concentric and coincident. So I'm going to go ahead and hit the enter key, and it allows me to, again, quickly put stuff together however I need to. If I need to, put this up here, enter, put these here, enter, that flies up, hit enter. If I want to center this in here, the width mate, you guys know about the width mate? Okay, width mate I don't like because I have to come in, go to advanced, make sure I don't have anything selected, turn on the width mate, pick two faces, hit like, that's like 8 button clicks just to get in here and get it done. Don't use width mate inside the make command anymore. Pick 4 faces. Does not matter how you pick them, just 4 faces. Width mate becomes your automatic one. And then I can just hit enter, gives me my choices of the width. I can leave it centered, move, do whatever. I hit the OK, and now I just made the width mate with just a couple clicks of the button.
You're just control clicking multiple faces?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep, absolutely. And again, if you put a mate on something that you don't like I don't like those 2 faces that are coincident, there's the breadcrumb, delete that mate, rotate this, whatever I need to, face, enter, coincident, moving on with life, it's awesome. All right, definitely learning how those work for you. They work with, now I know you guys are usually a year behind, but I don't think anything was added in 2024. So if you're on the latest version, you got everything in there. They did finally add in 22 or 23, they finally added the limit mate. So if you pick 2 faces, you can do it at a distance, and then right next to it is the limit. So you can actually put the limit in there, and you can put your top, bottom number, wherever it's at, everything right there. So unless you're getting into the high mechanic ones like gears and stuff like that, I think slots in there, I mean, just everything's there now. So definitely start pushing people to use that. And honestly, I've gotten to the point, I make large assemblies with Legos. That's how I learned how large assemblies work. I've got my main machine right here. I'm clicking away, and I've got so much into the habit that I'm literally watching some movie on my other computer, and I'm just making assemblies. I glance every once in a while, yeah, things are kind of going. But you get used to using those, and things can go super fast. Good deal? All right, I apologize for going over time. And then this is my email address. Chances are if you have